We live in Brooklyn, baby. We live in Brooklyn, baby.
Welcome back, people.
Yes, welcome back to Insanity CHECK4. And Skeleton Sauce is Ken, and that's over there is 8.
Yeah, we're back. That's what he said. So we're actually going to touch on a topic we haven't touched on in a while.
Yeah, since like the first part of the show, like the first few weeks, right?
Yeah. Skillet's sworn enemy, the dreaded Facebook.
Yeah. For all those people that know me on a personal level outside of this and know me as Skillet Sauce, I have not had a Facebook account since December 2009. I've had problems with these people and their privacy violations and all this other kind of shit. And I said, I just enough. I don't want to deal with these people. And unlike Google and their deadly, horrible Cyberdyne shit that they're doing, they've pretty much Deboed and Bogarted their way into the devices to where you almost can't avoid them, but you can avoid Facebook. So out of the two devils I know, the one that's easier for me to avoid on my day-to-day operations was Facebook. That's why they got cut. Because I know a lot of people out there, well, you use Google and Google. Yeah, Google, they're in league with Satan, I'm positive. But they've made it to where you can turn off everything, but you still have to use some component, especially if you have an Android devices, which I do. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was the one who was saying, yeah, but you're still using Google.
No, actually, you weren't the first one. I think it was Devon, or what did the clown call himself? Arkham? Whatever. And what's his face? I think that was it. I think he was the one that did that.
So old Skillet here found this article from NBC News Technology. It says, like it or not, 10 things Facebook changed in 10 years.
It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I mean, the guy's, you could see he's a little bit skewed, but yeah, you could read off the first one.
Facebook took the toil out of stalking. Prior to Facebook, ex-friends and lovers had to work hard in order to reinsert themselves into the lives of their unsuspecting prey. The phone books of our forefathers were no match for the changed names and cross-country moves. All it took was a wistful thought on Facebook to lead effortlessly to a friend's request and a reopened past, even if the recipient prefers it vacuum sealed.
Now, I agree with that because I remember speaking to Buzz, and Buzz was like, listen, everyone that I want to know and want to have contact with, I know them and I have contact with them. So I don't need, because that was the whole thing. Oh, but Facebook, you get a chance to meet so many old lost friends. Man, my friends are not lost. The people that I wanted to speak to and want to know, we still stayed in contact way before all of this shit throughout the years. All that rediscovery
but
shit.
Almost everyone.
Fuck off with that shit. Man.
Yeah, that's only after the fucking privacy invasion, and you couldn't keep your filth.
No, it wasn't even filth. It was just the fact that
there's no one who fucking could see a person that they hadn't seen in 20 years from public school and was like, oh shit, yo, that dude, blah 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 blah. You're lying if you said you wouldn't have done that.
Oh no! Listen. I actually did when I was on there. My first best friend back when I lived on Midwood Street, and I saw him on the shit. And I'm like, oh shit, that's what's his face, And and I was like, oh wow, whoa, yeah. I looked at his page. Oh, he's married. He's doing this. He's doing that. Okay, and that was it.
Okay, fine, that was it. But it's not like no one gives a shit about that.
I'm not saying no one gives a shit. It's just that I wasn't willing to trade that over these fucking dudes' indiscretions. Meeting somebody from high school.
But my point is, you didn't know about it. Did indiscretions
motherfucker. Like I said, as soon as I found out, I was out. So that's it. So that's what I'm saying. I put it on a scale. Ooh, I might meet a random person from high school that I really barely fucking spoke to anyway, or I can have these dudes that are confirmed villains when it came to my privacy. I'm not fucking with that. So I got off the convenience in my ass. So I was gone. All right.
Number 2, Facebook made botched IPOs cool, which is, whoopee, featuring the bungled rollout matched only by healthcare.gov. Facebook's $104 billion IPO is the third biggest in IPO history and arguably the most notorious. It's also the role model for Twitter, Snapchat, and every other tech startup with public trading aspirations. Never mind Facebook's $38 a share price, which tanked for months after the company's NASDAQ debut on May 18, 2012. Forget the ongoing federal investigation and lawsuits accusing the IPO team of secretly axing the earnings forecast. Would-be .com billionaires admire Facebook's refusal to sell out, preferring to go public despite the weak mobile plan. Yeah, so.
And I said the social network's once accursed stock hitting an all-time high of $61 in January has done wonders for bad memories, as does the $3 billion it plunked into Zuckerberg's pocket, boosting the hoodie-wearing CEO's estimate worth to $29.7 billion. What's not to emulate? I mean, you can't hate on that. Facebook made us okay with the NSA.
Number 3.
Private companies don't usually break down doors and drag people off to camps. Governments have and still do, and they do it based on meticulously maintained detailed records. Nevertheless, companies that literally bank on our personal info by selling it to advertisers also insure Americans to their continuing loss of privacy. As Edward Snowden, Europe, and history know, that rarely turns out well. And yet here's Facebook with its early privacy abuses, that's when I fucking got out of there, anti-privacy default settings, and a CEO who until recently described anonymity as a lack of integrity. The world's largest social network is arguably also the biggest influence in our laissez-faire attitude towards surveillance in the United States. What's the big deal? We've already willingly sacrificed our privacy to Facebook. That one there is why the fuck I got out.
Number 4, Facebook kerfuffled our love lives. From obsessing over every aspect of our BF and GF's Facebook profile and what it means for your relationship, to posting passive-aggressive status updates when your interpretation turns out negative, all this easily accessed info would throw off anyone's pitch. If we scrutinized our lovers' friends as potential romantic rivals, the way many do on Facebook, restraining orders would be the closest thing we get to a Valentine's, and plenty of them. Yeah, well, in general, people just put out way too much of their private lives on Facebook. I don't understand it, never understood it. But again, as we've talked about many times on this show, if narcissism is flourishing, I guess they feel the need, or if they're just so fucking lonely and desperate for attention, yeah, I'm gonna put out, as we did way back, that 20 things that you indicates that you shouldn't be on Facebook anymore. It's time to close down. When people are putting down, their fucking their break-ins. Some nasty bitch showed the blood stain when she got from her consummated her marriage.
The idiot that was holed up in a hostage situation, posting his status.
Yeah.
The next one is what Facebook welcomed us to the new age of underemployment. Facebook isn't the only high-income underemploying company in the U.S. these days, but it's one we patronize daily, and it's one of the most ubiquitous. Take General Motors. With its $55 billion market cap, its 212,000 employees, the company pumps billions of dollars into the U.S. economy every year. It supports whole cities. Then there's Facebook, which has a $100 billion market cap, nearly double that of General Motors, yet employs fewer than 6,000 people. Shareholders might argue that Facebook doesn't need more workers, but shareholders would be wrong, at least according to the panicked users who tried to reach Facebook's customer service department. Facebook, a $100 billion company, doesn't even have a customer service phone number.
I didn't know that. Facebook built the virtual town square of the 21st century. Did Facebook turn your grandma, cousin, or mom into the town crier, blasting views and posting inane news? Obama this, dog abuse that. You won't believe how many unworthy links are junking up your news feed. Or maybe that's you. This new kind of community where people share views with family members as well as close friends they only know from Facebook is as real as any offline. People are not on Facebook, are cut off from society. Hey, remember that? That's you. Anyway, exactly. For all the obnoxious posts that offends delicate sensibilities or gets someone Facebook fired, there's plenty that's positive. Post about your beloved dog or cat crossing the Rainbow Bridge to see how fast your community comes out running.
7. Facebook saved us from the internet. Cyberspace offers endless resources for email, instant messaging, sharing our personal news, photos, or locations, and catching up on curated news. But why go out when the ever-expanding Facebook hegemony offers all of that as well as your friends in one convenient location? Like AOL of olden days, Facebook is your internet portal, but with a better business plan plus mobile.
In this one, someone actually mentioned this on Facebook on my newsfeed a few months ago. Number 8, Facebook changed the way we grieve. As a new company originally limited to college students only slightly younger than its founders, Facebook didn't launch with a plan around what to do when customers die. Once membership hit critical mass, the users inevitably did too. Survivors were confronted with abandoned profiles and eerie Facebook reminders of their now deceased friend. Eventually, loved ones were allowed to memorialize profiles, but many take comfort in posting messages there, regularly addressing the deceased on these living virtual shrines. Well, that actually wasn't exactly what someone... again, someone has a family member who died, and they write a fucking eulogy on Facebook about this person who maybe out of their 600 friends, maybe 3 people actually knew. But then what's even more, I guess, disturbing or just awkward is then they get like 57 likes.
What do you mean likes?
That's the only way Facebook can let you know, outside of posting a comment, that you acknowledge what this person said. So my grandma just died today. I'm so sad. Like. So a cat that I know said, there has to be a better way to fucking acknowledge someone's loss besides saying you like the fact that someone's just personal loved one just bit the dust. But I guess that's the least of Facebook's problems.
Okay, well, here's another one. Number 9, Facebook aided in disaster relief. When an earthquake decimated Haiti's capital in 2012, a spontaneous rescue center arose on Facebook, with users posting Haiti-related update at a rate of 1,500 per minute. Facebook now serves as a valuable platform for rescue agencies following disasters. Last week, Snowed Out Atlanta, a Facebook group that has attracted more than 46,000 members in 24 hours, reportedly connected wannabe Samaritans with more than 400 snowbound travelers trapped on Atlanta's highways.
Oh, see, there you go.
That's a good thing.
Way to go, Facebook.
Yeah.
And lastly, Facebook stole hours and hours of our lives that we're never, ever getting back. If it wasn't Facebook, it was going to be something else.
I don't know. There's nothing more to be said about that. It is what it is. Facebook stole hours and hours. I think all of this stuff, you can't just blame that on Facebook. I think it's just the way this world is. As soon as people wake up, they check their phones. Whenever they have a moment of any kind of... Actually, I would say they create moments in which they want to use their devices. Before, I would say, initially is like when I get some free time, I'll look at it. Now you try and make sure that you can keep looking at it throughout the course of the day. You actually force this technology into your life. And I just find it really weird where I think if people were to try to do, to try and put down their phone for one day and actually leave the house, I think they would probably feel just like, disgusted. Like, oh my God, my phone can't die on me. I got to have 15 batteries and this kind of charger and everything on me. And people can't remember how it was back in the days to actually function without having your phone on you at all times. It's like they don't think that they can function. So it's like, and then, this whole thing about this need to be updated on what others are doing and updating what you're doing and projecting it out there to the world. It's integrated itself to this point to where I don't think we can ever, I think we've passed that point to where we can ever go back. So if it's not Facebook, it'll be something else.
8.
Well, I will say this, there is I think personally, the good outweighs the bad when it comes to social networking and any kind of, I guess, communication through those type of means. I just think it makes now. Granted, I can see where things may skew things and make it look some sort of way and may not be as I guess I don't know what the right word is. It just may not seem right. Mm-hmm. You understand, from a social aspect. Mm-hmm. But for one, when it comes to someone who is actually, whether it's trying to start a business or dealing with anything in that realm, social media does a world of good. I mean, it's the way you connect to people. You know, it made printing out flyers irrelevant. You know, it made actual invites to, events.
Yeah, the whole street team, all that kind of,
it made it almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
And even when you guys talk about like the grieving aspect of it, I do agree. But I had a friend recently who just lost her husband. You know, her husband passed of tragic means, actually.
Oh, man.
And she had to check herself in. Her family had to check her into a hospital because she was thinking about hurting herself.
Oh my God.
And one of the things that Facebook did do, now, like me per se, I didn't know her husband. You understand? Like, I heard about the event through other people, but a lot of people left messages of, hey, listen, I'm here for you. Still love you, and those are messages she probably would have never have seen, never have. And she said that it helped. You understand? Get her through and that's cool. I mean, there are positives to
I have no problems with that. It's just that like we've covered on this show several times, in order for them to strip away a lot of your freedoms and things like that, they can't just say we're going to take it from you. You have to voluntarily want it to happen. And in order for it to happen, a lot of times it goes through this social media stuff. They're like, well, don't worry if we, in order to use this app or something, we have to check your location. We have to check this. A lot of times you load up apps. It tells you we have access to your texting. We have apps. Everything, but you're just thinking, whatever, I'll worry about that on the back end if I'm going to worry about it at all. I want this app. I want the functionality that's going to give me. I want the connectability that's going to give me, and so forth and so forth.
And that's the consumer's point.
Right. But I mean, we got to go. But I mean, lastly, to me, this is just a reflection of our society. That's all it is.
I mean, obviously it could be perverted,
Right. That's exactly my thing. I keep on saying it. You can fucking build a bridge to heaven if it existed.
And somebody be selling crack on the way up there.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I understand. Scalping tickets, all kind of shit.
That's just the nature of man. This is what we do. This is who we are. So, I guess up to the individual to determine if it's worth it for him, what they're going to get out of it. Do they care, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I'm right in the middle of, the whole Facebook thing. But whatever. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, once again, that is our show. Again, countdown has begun. We are out of here at the end of the month.
So, how many more shows? Yeah, it's true, man. We go, like 3 more shows, man?
Yeah, three or four. Yeah, basically 3 more shows. So, once again, keep up to date on what's happening on our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our Google Plus page, and we will let you know when our website, InsanityCheckRadio.com, will be up and running. And, of course, we'll tell you when and where you can find our first show of the beginning of our 3rd season on BPN, terrestrial television, and whether we'll be simulcasting on Google Hangout or on YouTube.
And don't we also have Skype functionality on that?
Yeah.
We'll fill you in all of that stuff,
right,
man. So just check us out on one of those things, and you'll see this stuff on on our YouTube channel. And are we going to have any updates during that hiatus period on our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Probably probably put a little something out there, and probably that and Instagram too. So you can check us out at that on Sanity Check Radio.
Just had to horror.
I had to do it.
All right, folks, we're out.
Peace.
We're trying to